Hi, everyone. I'm Dan Porterfield, President and CEO of the Aspen Institute. I'm joined now by Pablo Haake, who is Executive Analyst for the City of San Jose, California. 24 years old, he's helping to drive the city's census canvassing campaign, which has pushed San Jose to reach the highest Census 2020 response rate among any city in the United States with 300,000 or more people. That's a big deal. Pablo, great to be with you today.
Thanks so much for having me, Dan.
So, why is the census so important?
Sure. So the census is really an essential part of our country and our democracy. There's a reason the founding fathers put it in Article 1 of the Constitution. Not only does it determine political representation, like how many Congress members a state gets, but it also shapes how billions of dollars of federal funding are used towards housing and education and transportation and much more, and where those go to various communities and parts of the country.
So, when I was your age, I was a census taker, and I went around to houses and apartments in Baltimore City where people had not returned the census. And I got them to talk with me and answer the questions. And I think I got $1 for a short form and $3 for a long form, something like that. Um, a lot of great life lessons. What are you doing in particular to drive up the census return rate for San Jose?
Well, we have a really strong team of canvassers who are mostly from the city. They're from the community. They look like the community, and we're focusing on parts of the city that are seeing lower response rates, and making sure to um, show people that we're from the city government and we care, and we want to also connect them with resources, as this is a time of great need with the pandemic and the recession. And I think this is important because to really emphasize um, community and like locally based campaigns, because San Jose is a city that is a majority of people of color, and the census systematically undercounts people of color, especially Black, American Indian, and Hispanic Americans. And so those really important applications of the census that I mentioned before um, are actually come into play here, because the inequality, racial and wealth inequality we see in this country, can be perpetuated and even widened when we don't count people in the same way.
Now, some young people who have that motivation choose to do it through the arts. Some choose to do it perhaps through the private sector. You're interested in doing that through public service. And what is it about public service that really excites you?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think we need all kinds of people with all kinds of talents to be involved in movements for progress and for change. And I think part of understanding how we can contribute is knowing what kind of work makes us feel fulfilled and connected. For me, it's meeting people, it's understanding people's passions, their needs, and working together to create institutions or um, changes and law that feel meaningful and lasting. And so I've been involved since early in high school with presidential campaigns and caucuses, with creating a vegetable garden for my high school, with lobbying at the state capitol, and it was always really exciting to see the power that young people can have. Um, and I also feel like we need to express that power if we want to get to a better place.
I love hearing that you have such a civic imagination that you act on. And I remember hearing this incredible story that when you were in high school, you attended the Aspen Ideas Summer Festival in 2015, and then you went as a Bezos scholar, and then you went back home to Iowa and put on your own festival. And say a little bit about that experience.
It was a great opportunity. I was really grateful to be part of the Bezos Scholars Program, which I'd recommend any high schoolers who attend public high schools to check that out. And I went to Aspen in 2014, and I remember going to the session called Future Metropolis, hosted by a design group called Terraform One, and it really inspired the what I chose to major in college. At Stanford, urban studies was my major, as well as the work I'm doing today. And yeah, afterwards after providing leadership training and the funding, I was able to put on a local ideas festival in my hometown of Davenport, Iowa. It was focused on getting young people involved in the conversation about the future of the downtown area and reimagining the space as a place reinfused with the kind of life, energy, arts, culture, and public transit, bike lanes, all the things that it has seen in the past that we want to bring back to it. And that was a really cool experience.
How beautiful. Pablo Haake, he's one of that passionate, serving kind, the future of this country and this world. Thank you, Pablo.
Thanks so much, Dan.